Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our 1 month Faculty Development Program 2024, organized by Faculty of Law, Integral University, Lucknow, and Association of Indian Universities under the aegis of Human Research Development Center on the topic of integration of intellectual property rights principle into teaching, research, and professional activities. Today we have our fourth session of third module on the topic of research grants and funding managing intellectual property rights. And for that, we have our resource person, Dr. Vinay Singh Kashyap, College Librarian, College of Agriculture of Alwar. Without further delay, I would request Dr. Vinay Singh Kashyap ma'am to start the session.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Welcome to all. Good afternoon and welcome to all. Myself, Vinay. I am working as a library in University College librarian, and it is great opportunity for me to learn something from you people. Thank you, Tulika madam and the management. You have given me opportunity to share my thoughts. So today we are just discussing on research grants and funding, because when we go on research, there is a thing how we will use our resources, how we will get our resources, how can we manage our research, if we want to travel, what happens, if we have something new which is to be given to the mass, how it can be managed, what is intellectual property right, and how this intellectual property rights can be meet out the expenses from the research purpose. So let us discuss on research and development, because you are all greatly intellectual people, and I no need to give a brief uh, elaborated on research and development. We'll just discuss few points. There, when we work on research, we have we generate an idea, and that idea comes by the experience. We are reading books, we are roaming here and there. When we go on a travel, we see the society, we see the problems in the society, and then we find out the solution for that society. In this way, we have an idea. If I want to pursue my research in a certain field, then from my research, what I will give to the mass. When we generate this idea, then we go on refining the idea. But before that, in our India, when we go for a research, there are certain criteria. You should be PG in a subject, and you can pursue your research in that subject only in which you are having a PG degree. So you are from social science stream, you are from science, you are from engineering, you are a doctor, you are an engineer, or even a law graduate or postgraduate, you are a legal person, you are a professional. Not only we people, but also the industries are working on research to how to improve their product, how to improve their custom relations. And research is the area where each and every sector is involving in this area. And the thing is that if we generate ideas by just analyzing our surrounding problems. So when we generate the idea, we start refining the idea. When we need to refine the idea, we need some guidance, and we go for a person who has a good experience, who has a work experience, and who has a good experience in that particular field. And then we discuss with him or her, and then we refine our ideas. The research may be basic or an applied research, whatever the requirement of that problem is there. If you want to do experiments, you have to go on a applied research. If it is a theoretical research, it is an qualitative research, it is a quantitative research, and just you go on that by the guidance of that supervisor or your mentor. Then we develop the research and get submissions. It means we get a problem solution. That solution, what solution you are giving to the mass is that when we go for a research, we just think the result will be this, and the result, when we elaborate in front of the mass or the certain community, it is very useful. So research is a process when we search or research any problem and then get the solution, and then they need that solution to be implemented in the society. So like that only in the engineering field, when a person just innovate a machine, is their invention of a machine, or then, or whether he just changes some certain features of that machine. So he need at that time, he is developing this process and he is doing research in the higher stages. So when we think what is R&D, all the time we listen that R&D, R&D, R&D. What is R&D? Actually, research is a process when we develop that process for a mass, and we use that innovative ideas for the solution as a solution. So there are, when you do a research, you can have a new innovation, you can have an invention also. There is a certain thing that is known as when you go for, like, I'm just giving an example. I am from the field of legal, and if I want to see if there are lots of problems in the society. Recently we are facing the problems related to the women security. So we go on what to do. So there was, in, we take an example of the West Bengal right now, what is happening there. There was a protest for the safety of the doctors. So the thing was that the doctors put their problems in front of the management certain times, but it was not being solved. Then then the government took a step. We will do it. We will do it. But Supreme Court has given certain sorry, orders, and then it was taken very fast, and then it was being researched what the problems really, the doctors are facing these problems or not. So when they visited that particular area, and then they found out and they discussed with certain doctors, and they really came to know that the interns are facing lots of problems. Problem of work, problem of taking rest areas, problems of dealing with the patients, problems of dealing with the management, problems with their studies and everything. So we, why we need to do the protest for this? Why not this program, this process was given to the persons, for the management or the policy makers, ki they have to think on this. There are problems in these areas, and then there should be a solution. So whenever a problem is there, we need a solution that is for the whole mass, not for the single person or a single institute or in a single community and nothing else. So in today's world, when we go on a research, we see each and every country has their standard of living, their process of giving education, the earning sources, and then they are what they are doing in their day-to-day life, what the implementations you have seen from China and Korea and in IT sectors. And recently AI has came, and what now it will be, the world it will be, when you are having lots of information from globe, and how to manage this information. So there are certain ideas that you can have in your mind, and then you can use these ideas and give new invention or innovation or any solution to the problems what is going on in the society day to day. Now what happens when we think about, like, I'm working in a research agriculture institute. So when people think there should be a food security, ministry is also having कि every person should have food, और ये हमारा एक नैतिक मूल्य है कि अगर इंसान पृथ्वी पर आया है तो we should give food to each and everyone. भगवान ने भी ये रचना की है. But the thing is that if we go on the past, we see jab, what was the economic conditions at that time, now what is the economic conditions, now what was the agriculture condition at that time, what is the agriculture condition in this time. So what is going on, land is being used for residential purpose, or for developing the factories and other institutions. Now why, where we have the land to grow the crops, how can we satisfy the food need of our mass? So the research went on, and then Swaminathan gave an idea कि if we use the resources in a creative manner, or we use these resources, natural resources, skillfully, efficiently, then we are giving whole mass food and safety. So thing is that when we see the problem in our areas, but today's in today world and the world before, in ancient India and in medieval India and India after independence, we see a huge change in this process. So when in 18th century British people came to India and then read our scriptures and they found out that India was rich in their culture, rich in their everything. So they generated that idea in their own words, and then now the world is recognizing these ideas has been given from certain people from certain countries. Even Einstein has told कि I have taken idea of energy from Gita, because Gita says आत्मा अमर है और कोई भी तत्व जब एक बार पृथ्वी पर आ गया तो उसका it is transform in other energies, but it is not be destroyed. So the E is equal to mc square from Einstein idea was like he has taken this idea from Gita. He read Gita, and Einstein was a very specially abled child in his childhood. He was told by his teachers to his mother, he we are not able to teach your child. So mother took the child to their home, and then she taught what the education system should be, and he educated his son. And later on, that son became a great Einstein, and he has given the formulas for energy. So we think about any idea, but some people have good brain. They think that idea, they take their ideas, and then when they give to the mass, they think it should be have an ownership of mine. So it goes on like we should have this property, we should have some rights, and it should be in our custody only. So after research and development, the process is end up with the solution, and then we think about intellectual property rights. So, what is intellectual property rights? You people are aware of all the intellectual property rights. There are certain rights given to the owners, so in different sectors for their innovation and inventions, so that it can be used at a large scale. But the basic idea of the owner remains in his custody only, his or her custody. So we know in India there are certain other parts in IPR which is been taught to you people also, and you have already read and you are aware of all these things. There is the copyright, the startup cost from copyright. When you print something, you generate any article, you generate some songs, and you generate your ideas in a form of 2D, 3D, or musical. So at that time, the thing, if the owner is the whole sole proprietor for that creation, and like you have case of literary, dramatic, musical work, the owner is the person who permit to perform the work and make translation for that particular copyright. So copyright in the copyright, you people from, if you are from intellectual field, if you are from any if you are a student, if you are a research scholar, so there is criteria ki how much content you take it from there. Recently one term has came, it's a plagiarism. What plagiarism means? This is plagiarism is Hindi mein chori. Means if you say, if you have copied something, you have to give that person the whole full responsibility that I have taken this work for my academic purpose. So you should give credits to the person who has so in 1967 it was inaugurated, and then later on there were certain changes. So in when you have learned about Copyright Act in section 17 also, it is clearly stated that the original work is protected under the copyright, and the license is of the copyright of the work to the third party agreement has the only for the owner. The owner is having the right license for that. Similarly, if we go on the plant breeders right, like I'm talking about the Plant Varieties Act. This is known as the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers Rights Act. It was inaugurated in 2001, and in that also it was that India became the member of that trade-related aspect of Intellectual Property Rights Agreement in 1994. And at that time, India came to know that we have certain agriculture crops which are developed in our country only and by our scientists. It should be protected, and this yieldings is very good for the world for also. So for plant varieties act, it was permitted to any breeder and any person who has the nobility, distinctiveness, and uniformity and stability for the crop can be registered in his name, his or her name. So these acts were came in mm, mind of the people, certain people who thought कि when we are doing something, we are using for the mass, so we should have some economy from that. ठीक, हमारी कुछ financial conditions भी ऐसी है when we develop these ideas, when we give this product to the mass, we have to spend lots of money. There is a great huge expenses on that, and that expenses should be met out from some funding agencies and or something from the institute or something we can use it that fundings in our research and development. So if we go on certain these all are property rights, and if I will discuss all this, it will take more than a half month to discuss about this thing. All the IPRs in India have modules, and in that everything is been declared ki who has the right, what type of projects are considered in this, how long they are given the right of that, and how you have to renew this, where you have to file it, and every process is given in that module. It is available on the Google also, and you can their Google Baba is there to help you out. But the authentic information, if you want to get, you have to go on authentic sites. I have taken this picture from my one of the site which I have mentioned in the PPT, because this is the source, and I have just copied it from. I'm extremely thankful to the Text India updates because of this beautiful picture and the concise picture they have given to me. So I will just, one more thing I would like to have it, a patent is there. So when we go on scientific research, when we go on engineering and research, like applied research, we get some patents. Patents means you, whatever the researcher have done, it is uh, in that property right, the patent is granted for 20 years, and it is an inventive step taken from a research. So patent is the little bit thing we can say कि what is patent? It is a product that that is given from a novel idea and original idea to the public domain. And patent is one more thing. It is like something the process what he has or she has invented. So the description of that process and the product how it was made is patented. I have done this thing. It is my way of invention and innovation. I have used this technique. I have worked on this. I have taken the permission on this. I have taken the lab on this, and everything. When you file a patent, there is a certain columns, and you have to fill out that. So patent is also an important factor which is considered in R&D, because each and every industry has their own techniques, their products, and that trends how they work on that, and how to give new products to the customers. So in concise route, we can say that a patent is an intellectual property right which protects any new invention, an exclusive right that protects the rights of an inventor. So when you go on a research and development, not in the scientific also, but recently in library and information science for MLS Sukhadia University, one of the research scholar has discovered one way of on working on LMS, library management software, and in that due to that technique, he can give maximum services to the user in a particular library by minimum effort. So this technique was also registered under patent last 2 years, before 2 years, and it was patented in the name of the inventor and the supervisor. So, and the department and the university. So they have used the resources from the university and they have worked in that particular university and particular university department. So that patent was filed in the name of Department of Library and Information Science, and it was being registered, and then they got and uh, patented. They get patented that idea in 2023. So it is now the fields we are going in intellectual uh, knowledge areas, and we see there are multidisciplinaries get together. They are now becoming interdisciplinary research. Yani maximum ideas. If you think ki I am a legal person and I want to innovate something, there is cyber law, cyber crimes, which is related to the computer science and engineering, which is related to the legal aspects, which are related to the psychology of the crime doing persons and all these things. So now the research is being interrelated with other subjects, and now the ideas are coming from the different domains. So Government of India and UGC also supports the interdisciplinary research, and then they support to the researcher for giving their ideas a new shape, and then intellectual property rights come in that. Sometimes they, because copyright is the wholesale right and it is the oldest, and it protects the uh, owners rights for their creations, but still we have some of them rights that, like utility model design rights to, recently it has been developed in the sector of when the IT sector has came in day-to-day life. So the design under design act is only the feature of the shape, configuration, patterns, ornaments and composition of the lines of colors applied to any article, whether it's in 2 dimension, 3 dimension or both forms, by any industrial process or means, whether manual, mechanical or chemical, separate the combined, which is finalized article appeal to a judge solely by the eyes. So this is also now being registered in the act. So, so there are lots of other acts which, when you go on, there are sections in each and every act, and there are sections have bisections, and then you will come to know ki what, how minutely they have observed and how minutely they have given the ownership and how minutely the rights are given to the owners. When we go on discussing these intellectual property rights and the research, we see one more thing. Whether these rights, when we do some invention and information, whether we can get financial help from somewhere else, because there is a demand of huge money in this, on all this invention and innovations. You need to travel, you need certain resources, you need certain types of software, equipments, and place. Sometimes you need to work on that in a area which is remote, so you need some equipment which can be used there. Now recently, if you see, the agriculture scientists are using drones and bar technologies, RFID technologies, and these are too costly for. So in India, I'll discuss some of the agencies here, and but before I discuss the agencies, I would just want to tell you one thing. All these agencies, they are providing the funds, but they are uh, having certain criteria to give you the funds. Any person from any field have an idea related to that particular agency is being promoted and has helped from uh, they give the fund to that person, but the idea should be related to their domain so that they can utilize it in further process. So in India, we will discuss. In India, there are agencies like Aeronautical Research and Development Board. Have you heard about this? So this is institute is also giving funds. I think there is network not working properly. So I will give. I'm not able to open this URL, but I will discuss about Council of Scientific and Industrial Research (CSIR), and you have heard that CSIR is providing funds to the scientific research, and Now, if we think about the legal research and in legal areas, there are crimes related to the cyber. So these research, and you require the funds, you can go on Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. Same, you can also have funds from the CDEC, Center for Development of Advanced Computing. In Rajasthan, I am from Rajasthan, and we have an institute here, uh, Sardar Patel University, Police University for Cyber Security and Crime and Justice. So in that university, I visited that university, and I found out that they are developing a forensic lab over there. But they have a special department of cyber security where they get students enrolled. The limitation is 24 seats only, and these students are sent to the different agencies for their research and development, and they develop some softwares, they develop some new techniques how to solve the crimes in the cyber areas, in cyber domain. Now we have faced so many crimes in cyber. You have learned the banks are also being cheated from the certain people, and the person who are cheating, they are having the basic knowledge of that particular domain, and only a single link can vacate your account from a bank. Though you are very much known about your mobile services, you are very much known about the artificial intelligence, but the person who are cheating you people, they are much more intelligent than we people, because they just call us. They have a good psychological studies, because they know whom to call, when to call, and how people can be convinced, which we don't have that particular skill in ourselves. So CDEC is also working for the computer systems, and they are also developing certain softwares. They are also giving security access to the banks, to the communication telecommunicators, and we from agencies like Airtel or uh, different telecommunication agencies, Vodafone, Airtel, or the networks. So we also are having that software, and we are just getting the mobile phones to be secure from these cheatings. We go on further. There is also a department of Ayush. Now, one more thing, we have know the law is the subject which is related to the society. Each and every activity, when performed beyond the law, is illegal. So medical is a field. Recently, what happened in the West Bengal is also medical is a field. This is need of the society, and Department of Ayush has developed certain criteria to develop R&D in the medical field and the society. Corona was one of the major disaster for we people, and during that you have just heard that when the requirement of uh, certain medicines, the India was taking the steps. They developed some medicines, and they developed some of the uh, good medicines which was used in the worldwide, and the Ayush department was appreciated for that. The person from Pune biotechnology department, BBT, is also giving help to the Ayush department. So you can have department of biotechnologies also. You can have funds from there also. Now next, there are ministries also which are having certain funds. We'll discuss on the ministries. Gain India is also giving funds. And one more thing I would like, before I discuss on these agencies, there is a now CSR. The term is there. CSR means corporate social responsibilities also are there. And in that field, though, each and every industry has to give uh, their 3 to 6% to the person uh, who are requiring funds, and they can approach that agencies for seeking funds for good for the society, and they are having their income from that, they have to at least 3 to 6% they have to donate for the betterment of the society also. So these really India is, you know very well, it is also having a CSR process also. Major in Indian Council of Agriculture Research, they also provide funds. Same similarly, Medical Council is also there. ICSSR is most important funding agency for social science research. And if you go on ICR, you see there they have given a list of departments and list of fields in which you can have good funding process, and they are give a small research, your big research, you can do a small research on that. They will provide you the fund, and then you have to submit your research to that ICR. They will publish it, and for publication also they give you the fund. And there are from minimum 25,000 to maximum 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore per rupees are given to the research scholars and the institute for good research in social science sector. Similarly, ISRO is also providing funds for space research, and in the college and universities, when we have certain fields, uh, we have some scientific areas where we required students from undergraduate, they want to develop their ideas in the physical format, and then they need funds for that. So they can ask funds from minimum to 25,000 to maximum 1 crore rupees from the different these agencies which is related to their domain. Similarly, Ministry of Communication and Information Technologies is major funding agency is there. CIT is major funding agency, and you can get good funds from Communication and Information Technologies. And they promote not only students from the college and university, but from the school going children also they can have. They have funded students from that side also. And recently we have heard many of the examples that students from school, they have developed good softwares, and they have developed some designs which is useful for the mass and with society. Ministry of Environment is also giving health and family welfare. You are from legal side, if you are law persons, if you are faculties, if you are from sociology background, if you are from psychology background, if you are from education background, and you are from medical background, you can ask funds from Ministry of Health and Family Welfare also. Similarly, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Renewable energy, they are providing solar panels from very least cost. So if a person from sociology wants to develop a village area where still in India, if you go in the villages, still there are certain villages, they don't even have the basic facilities like water, potable water, electricity, health, PUCs, and even education system is very weak over there. And certain reels are also there. The students in this rainy season, they are uh, walking, they are not walking, they are even they are just swimming in the water and reaching to their schools. I have sometimes I see that schools going students, they walk through a rope to cross a river. It is dangerous, but still people are giving good, taking their education. So why we people we are not working for these people? How we can develop? We have private schools in our urban areas. We have good schools like Navodaya Vidyalayas, Mahatma Gandhi English medium schools in Rajasthan we are telling, and there are certain schools, Kendriya Vidyalayas. But do we have all these facilities in the remote areas? Do we are working there for remote peoples? We are able to work. We have that efficiency. We are efficient. And if the funding agency is supporting you, if the ministries of the government of India is supporting you, you people take the initiatives and you take this opportunity and develop some areas. In the organizations like private organizations, you have least paperwork because these organizations have adopted. But in the government organization, working while in a government organization, we have to satisfy every level of the management, from least to highest management. Why you want to do this, how you will do this, how you will go on. So the file goes through certain channels, and then when it is going to the final authorities, it has been marked from certain people. But in the private organizations, you people have an opportunity. You can give this file through a department which is directly involved in R&D and to the ministry, because they are having certain management aspects. They are working for a particular field of that idea only. So why we people are not taking these initiatives? We should take the initiative. I would like to highlight Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. And as you know that now Government of India has given net of the roads. All the areas, all the states are connected. All the states and even small uh, states and all the areas are connected one together, and they are giving a network of the roads so that you can travel easily. Now what happens, if you want your comfort, what you people do, we people use our own vehicles. So now the national highways which are extended and they are having one or two barriers. When you start, you have to pay the toll start point and then end point, you will pay for that. So when you are having least barriers, so you want to travel along. So Ministry of Road and Transport and Highways, they are also having certain funds to give to the people, those who are interested in developing all these networks. And secondly, these people are also awareing people for environment issues. So roadside plantations you can have, roadside parks are developing in highways like from one example I'll give from where I travel regularly. I am in Alvar right now, Nogama Alvar, and it is a very remote area. It is apart. Alvar is from 40 kilometers from Alvar and nearby Haryana border. So we are in two states. The people are from Haryana and Rajasthan. Both the sides we have express highways, trains from Delhi to Jaipur. There are 23 trains daily operating from Delhi to Jaipur. But these trains are from Alwar, not from Nogama. Nogama is the area apart from Alwar. When I have to reach Alwar, I have to board some private bus or no other bus or some buses from Haryana transportation or from buses from Rajasthan transport. But we don't know whether these bus will be giving the facilities when we go on traveling. So we in few days we started our own vehicle. We will travel by our own vehicle. We just go for a 10 to 12 kilometers, then we catch the highway, and then we directly go to Jaipur. I have to travel Jaipur frequently. So when we go on that express highway, our speed is very high, 120, 130 sometimes. So we four of five people are in the same car and sometimes in the same vehicle. So we all talk and we just go on. We never think ki it will be harmful for us. Sometimes a major accident can be happen. But now the government has taken ki if you exceed your speed from 120 or uh, on any highway, you will be penalized. So at that time, how you are being traced, it is we don't know, because we are on the road and we hardly see that there is a speed indicator which is going on and giving you that your speed is more than this limit area. But government is tracing you out and they give yes, penalize this person. The technique used for detecting the speed, the technique used for penalizing you we people is from the information communication and information technology. So all the ministries are attached together. So whenever we go for the funds from the ministries, we just check the criteria. We go for, and they says you go for this fund for this site, and or you can contact these ministries or these agencies. So they also give you the way where you are getting the funds. So road and transport highways are also giving funds for computer engineers and computer science, mechanical engineers and civil engineers while constructing their highways, and environment scientists also to developing the certain areas. Even they are providing for small scale industries to develop nearby the highways also. Same urban development ministry and water resource ministry is also providing for funds to the social scientists and other peoples to get involved in the R&D. Similarly, we are having more lots of tests. I just want to Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. It is a good agency. You can have there. They have a performer given on their net, and you fill that performer, and then give your presentation in front of that experts, and then you can get good funding for your research. UGC University Grants Commission are funding for all the universities, colleges, and all the institutes, those who are involved in the higher education. And UGC has given time to time fellowships for the teachers, faculties, for their good performance. Even they are promoting research scholars. Research scholars may contact UGC Grants Commission. You have to fight an examination. It is NET JRF, and through JRF you get a good funds and you can pursue a research in that particular areas. You are from science, you are from engineering, you are from any domain like social sciences, humanities, and if you want something which is required from the UGC, you just ask them. They will give you good. And something most important is that when you select a university from where you go on for your research is very important. So when we go on the research, you just check it out. Do we have the facilities? If we are not having the facilities, we don't say every university, every institute will give you the facilities. How you can get the facilities? For this, resource sharing is there. Resource sharing means in a particular area, like if you are working in a biotechnology department, but you need help from the computer science department, you can collaborate with computer science department, and you can get good funds from both the sides because you need some software, you need some help from that side. Similarly, I'll give you an example. National Digital Library. National Digital Library was developed for the betterment of the students, research scholars, and society in the field of education from the basic 0 4 years to like higher ages people also. But the startup of this NDL was from IIT Kharagpur, Library and Information Science Department, the Central Library, and the Computer Science Department has initiated for this type of digital repository. And later on, they submitted their proposal to ministry, and then it was approved. And now, National Digital Library is one of the major resource portal where you can get lots of resources. So it is not that we are from the particular field and we can't go on other fields. I am from library and information science background, and if I state my library science science education system, we are from computer science and engineering field. We are from civil engineer side. We are having mechanical. We are having psychology studies to do. We are from sociology background. We are good computer scientists because in a library you deal with certain users of different psychology. You have to construct a library for each and every person who enters your portal, like if he is physically disabled or specially able, so you should have sections for these people also. How they will reach in the library, you have certain indications marks. If they have locomotive problems and if they have any sight problems, so you there are some techniques which is used during construction of the building. So you should have railings, you should have particular type of areas for the students, these facilities also for disabled people. So everything you have to think about developing a sector. So in library science, when I have to create a library for my users in Nagawa, I have to first study, take a step, how how I can get a land for that. Which land is important because the space where I have to construct the library is more important. This is a hilly region, so I have to see. Say this region is known was earlier. सब कहते थे ये डूब क्षेत्र means the river Chambal flows. It was over flooded and it was not been visible at that time. But before 20 years it was the condition, it was over flooded, but now very few time the rain is there, very low uh, rain is there, and now we are facing the high temperature and all these things. So if I want to develop a library for my society in Nagawa, so I will first select the land, and the land should be not agriculture land, it should be used for the purpose of academics. So I have to approach certain academic institutions which for constructing, developing a good library for my users. Secondly, which type of users will come to the library? So I have to I have to analyze the users also. Then if I analyze these users, then I have to see what is the age of that, what are their needs, what are their background, how which type of resources I have to communicate, what is their skills, what are their demands, how I will fulfill their demands. So for that I have to think a lot. When constructing a library, I have to go for a civil engineer. I need a green library, energy efficiency. I will ask from TIS. I will ask from certain people who are involved in developing good buildings. I will go through the all the certain parameters for developing a good library. I have to get my library to be certified from the regulatory agencies. So I have to think a lot. Then I comes to that I will approach certain people who can fund me, because I am not having fund, but I am having an idea. I have to develop this idea. I have to give the idea a shape. I have to need this library for the mass. So I will go and approach certain agencies for funding. When I get the fund, they have certain restrictions also. This fund is used for this purpose only. This fund is used for this purpose only. So I have to take care of all these funds. When I utilize this fund and when I give a library to my society, again I have to think how I will manage for a long time. It is not like that you get the fund, you establish it, and you leave it. You have to sustain that idea also. So for the sustainability, I have to work on that after it is been established. So whenever you go for a research, funds are given to you. It is not like that you have to stop the research over there. You have to develop that idea for a long term. Think for 500 years and think for more 1,000 years. I don't know. My life is within after 5 minutes. I will be there. After next moment, I will be there or not. But my ideas are for 500 years, so that the agency is convinced ki we are giving fund to the person or to the agency to the institute which is having a good idea which is sustainable. So all these agencies just go for three more major aspects. If you go on these agencies and if you see the criteria, they will ask what is good for the society, how you will give the sustainability to this idea, and whether this idea is really good for the mass or not, and what are the basic requirements for you people. So whenever you develop these ideas, just think about you are developing for the society. There are lots of people working with you, but lots of people are using that. More than the people who work are using the idea for their betterment. So here only I conclude, and I'm extremely sorry if I have not given the right information for that. But if I am wrong, just I need you people, you have your help. Just correct me. I appreciate your suggestions. I will appreciate your ideas. Thank you very much. At the last, I would like to say, if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way. And these agencies are helping to do your small things in a great way. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, we have two questions for the event. First question is, what are the implications for researchers if they fail to disclose existing intellectual property when applying for grants?
Yeah, it is a very good question, and Vidul, very insightful. Uh, I have told you it is not actually what you are doing when you are implementing. You are a research scholar, or whether you are a faculty. But if you are unable to disclose the existing, I want to clear one thing. If you are pursuing a research, you are associated with an university, and Influminate has given some of the ideas. Sorry, Influminate is the portal where you can submit your research, but we have a time period, small time period, when we don't want to disclose our research for 6 months time. We don't want to disclose our research at that time, but we have an idea. We think in our research we have to patent something, or we have a copyright is so normal because every university has that right. But we have to patent something, or we have to register some design. And for in that period, I just don't want to say the grant that the agency says you have to give this thing. But when you go on intellectual property right, if you study whole each and every right, you will see there is a long process. It takes 1 year to 2 years, sometimes more, to get registered that. And if they don't register, they will give you why they are not registering for that. Okay. So if you are failed to disclose the existing intellectual property right, don't even ask from that. You say, I am generating new idea, start from a new, and see what lacunas were there, and then you go for the further. Because it is not actually it happens when we have something been not done in the proper way, or we have not done. So please revive it, review it, and then reapply for it, and confirm what lacuna was there, because they give you time, they give you chance, they give you more opportunities. If they found that idea is very good, so they want that idea should be in that manner. It don't have any lacuna. So I think I in my knowledge I have done this because I failed 2 times. I didn't get the patented for my work, so I am again and again trying for that, and it will one I will succeed. I hope. Thank you. I hope
Ma'am,
I have answered your question.
yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, last question is, what are the common pitfalls researchers face when managing intellectual property in grant-funded projects, and how can they be avoided?
Yeah, this is also a good question because researchers are very new. They don't even know how to start their work. When you think, "Ki, "Arey, देखो," thing is that why you are doing your research for only getting JRF, net JRF, for your lectureship, or for earnings, or you really want to do good for the society. So when I was research scholar, my just guy told me go and fight the net examination. So I told her what is the importance at that time. It was in 2000. So what is the importance of net in my research? I just don't want to go for teaching. So my guide told, no, you have to clear the net examination. Then only I will take you. And I did not clear that examination at that time. I took 5 years. I was at 5 years. I just studied and studied and studied. In which area I have to go? So when I was a research scholar, I first studied, and then in the guidance of the my guide, I collected the material for my ideas. So it was like research is research is a big universe, and ocean is there, ocean of knowledge is there. You have to go in that ocean, you have to pick the pearl from that ocean, and for that you need a guidance. So when you are managing the intellectual property right, it is the last stage when you complete your research in a step by step areas, and then you will get. And by okay, grant and funding projects, it is very much important to take certain what I would like to say, the steps, which is basically आपने देखा होगा कि when we go for a research, our areas are wide, but we have to very focused for that. Don't do nahi. You have to be focused and think what you are going to elaborate, what you are going to research, what you are going to study is related to your focused area. And for IPR, IPR is not the thing that you are seeking the research. Not every research is for good for IPR. It is not like that. IPR is something different from the research. What you have researched, you found out that this idea was novel idea, and I want to register this idea for the betterment, and I am the owner of that idea. No one has earlier this idea. Then I go for a patented or research registered to be registered. This is not like that. But researcher, when you start your research, think you have to patent something and give a good thing for a remark, then only you will succeed. And for the grant, you can get a grant. It is not important. आईपीआर के लिए ग्रांट्स इज नॉट देयर. आईपीआर के लिए जो ग्रांट्स एजेंसीज देती है वो तब देती है जब आपकी रिसर्च कंप्लीट हो जाती है और उनके सामने आपको प्रेजेंटेशन देना होता है, तब आप बताते हैं. क्योंकि अभी हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में एक रिसर्च स्कॉलर ने एक बहुत अच्छा बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट का यूटिलाइज करके एक फर्टिलाइजर बनाया, बट उसने तब तक इसको डिस्क्लोज नहीं किया जब तक कि वो सक्सेस नहीं हो गया, उसने रिसर्च को प्रेजेंट नहीं कर दिया इन फ्रंट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर एक्सपर्ट फ्रॉम द एजेंसी पेटेंट जब कर मिल गया. उसके बाद उसने डिस्क्लोज किया कि बायो फर्टिलाइजर he has given me nano technology or nano fertilizer. So when a researcher go for an idea, it is a long process and you will never fail if you are focused and you will have all your hard work repays all the time. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I think we have no questions. So, as we conclude today's session, I would like to take a moment to express our sincere gratitude to our Dr. Vinay Singh Kashyap, ma'am, for her esteemed presence and valuable contribution to our FDP program, 1 month FDP program. Her expertise on the topic of research grant and funding, managing intellectual property rights, was invaluable to our participant. Thank you, ma'am. We are truly grateful for your time and dedication in sharing your knowledge and insights with us. Your contribution has undoubtedly enhanced the quality of our program also. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming, and thank you for this session, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am, giving for an opportunity for learning something new from you people. Thank you very much. May I
Thank you,
leave?
ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.